Hi, and welcome to the 950 Club. I'm Edwin.
I am Jack.
Follow the buzzards.
There you go.
Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt.
Hello, and welcome back to the 950 Club Podcast, an anime and manga podcast. Today, we have a very unique catch-up special, Jamal's catch-ups of My Home Hero and Horimiya, Seasons 1, the original series, and Season 2, Missing Pieces, or Piece. And then for the second part, we have Kyle and his catch-ups with his favorite shows of this season so far. Since we had a lot of time to record, Kyle put in his 5 cents on other shows as well. It's a nice little random session we just had together. And I must inform you, unfortunately, the audio recording was not up to par, at least in the first half of this recording. It gets a little bit better down the stretch, so as a sound engineer, I am very sorry for the edit. I messed around with the mics too much. But nonetheless, we thank you for listening in and let us know what you think. Thank you again and enjoy.
So Jamal, today for us you have 2 surprise catch-ups. Would you like to start with the first one?
The first one is My Home Hero.
My Home Hero. So you guys watched this.
You're patient with this one.
Yeah, see, Edwin, you mentioned it like a few times.
I did.
You have, like the poster from...
Was it ASIN or was it Fan Expo? Probably was
No,
ASIN.
I think it was ASIN.
Okay.
ASIN.
You got a poster from?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they gave that was one of the free posters that they gave us.
Oh, for the
My
promo
Home
for the
Hero
promo.
and
Yeah.
something else.
Because I haven't seen like fan art doing it per se.
And so, like, Edwin mentioned it a couple times, and I was like, let me watch this.
Oh, so you wanted to? Okay, cool. Because all right, this is going to be fun because I haven't watched this.
I only saw the first episode.
So did
You
I.
haven't watched it?
No.
You mentioned it like 5 times. So I was like,
Well, I did because it was.
The first episode was so weird.
It was
my
it was
impression.
what was the same thing. I had the same reaction like for Zom 100, where that first episode was so like different from like anything that season.
And it's his own movie too.
Yeah, like me and Jack were like, WTF, what is this? But I'm actually glad that you watched this because now you can tell us like it was actually worth the hype of that first episode.
It was ranked relatively high for a good stretch.
I mean, it seemed like it was gonna be good, but I wasn't sure. Like, can this carry like an entire season of manga or of an anime?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So what ended up happening? I'm really interested.
We'll recap with the plot too.
So in My Home Hero, there's this girl who's dating this dude that's in the
Yakuza.
Yakuza,
Mm-hmm.
and he like beats her and stuff. And the dad goes over there one day, and the guy is like doing stuff to the daughter, and the dad like ends up accidentally killing the guy.
Okay.
And so now the Yakuza is all like trying to figure this out because he was like the son of like a boss.
Okay. That's the crazy homicidal boss too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the dad is like trying to keep up. He's trying to not have the police catch up to him and not have the Yakuza catch up to him. And it was one of those shows that like has an interesting premise,
Mm-hmm.
but to me it didn't really follow through on it the way I wanted it to. It kind of went off the rails a bit.
Okay. So what were your expectations and what was the reality? What did you hope for it?
Were you hoping for like Taken type of vibe?
Or Equalizer?
Yeah.
It was cool. I mean, it was one of those things where it's kind of like, I'm going to outsmart you.
Okay.
Catch up to me. And it was just like it was like too many other things where this is happening to move the plot along.
Oh, okay.
To me, I just felt like this is a little. It got to the point where it was like it's hard for me to suspend my disbelief.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
At this point,
Yeah. Well, yeah, because when a story like that, I mean, in reality, he gets caught by the police, he goes to jail.
Right.
Maybe somebody shanks him on the inside a little bit later on.
He's probably not even getting caught by the police. He's
Yeah,
getting caught by the Yakuza because they probably got it in with the police anyway.
Yeah.
This is true.
So, it was just weird. There was a scene where like he pretended to be a dude that's like a cleaning guy, and they didn't know who he was. And I'm like, man, it was an entertaining enough show
that you watched all of it.
I watched all of it.
Okay,
but they did get to points where I'm like,
yeah.
This is going on a little too long.
Yeah.
So you think where it failed is kind of like, okay, the writing and the plot structure. He's like, you didn't feel like the writing lived up to the premise.
Or just a strong start but a weak finish.
No, I mean,
Well, it seemed like the whole thing along the way. Yeah.
I mean, the whole premise of it is like this normal, everyday citizen is outsmarting the police and the Yakuza.
Okay.
Which is kind of like...
yeah, you're not buying it. Yeah.
It's hard for me to buy that.
Okay.
And it's not like this dude is like some super smart, intelligent dude. He's just an average, everyday dude.
Yeah, Dad.
But I think he's very much into like murder mysteries.
Okay. Sidestep them, yeah.
Everything. And again, it's like, because there's times it's like, well, I read this in this book, and this is how you do that, and this is how you decompose a body. Because I read this in this book, and this is what I got to do to get rid of any sort of blood or what. And it's just like, because you read a bunch of murder mysteries.
What was his job? I know that it was he had a specific job. I don't know if he was a writer or a reporter. He had some kind of job at the beginning because I remember when he met with his daughter.
Office worker, to be honest.
I don't remember what it was, but I thought it was something that.
Well, it has homages to action films. Like in the first episode, it reminded me a little bit of Blue Velvet, the scene with the closet.
Okay.
There's a cool scene, like literally word for word, like Blue Velvet, where the main hero has to hide in the closet to get intel on the Yakuza boyfriend. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of clever. They definitely did a callback there. I'm like, it looks like it's going to be intense but in spurts, though.
Though I think that's why I didn't continue to watch it. I think what Jamaal was saying was because I didn't know. I didn't feel if it was gonna. I didn't know if it was gonna live up to the premise.
Yeah, for me, it's the grandeur of this.
Because sometimes you don't know how they're going to execute the problem.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they establish the problem, and then you're like, all right, how are you going to execute this? Are you going to be able to live up to what you've set up for yourself? And sometimes they're just not. And sometimes it's just like a false, like I remember with, like one of my favorites from last season, Dangers of My Heart.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and even with Comey, I remember there was an episode early on, or there was a bit in the manga early on.
Abduction?
Yeah, with the abduction. I'm like, wait, what kind of manga am I reading?
Yeah. Same thing with Dangerous, because at the finale, too, you're like, oh, okay.
Well, it's like, all right, what kind of, is this guy really into killing people, or is he not? And it turns out that he's not. He's just going through that goth phase where it's like, yeah. But that was the same thing with My Home Hero. I'm like, how are they going to execute this? How is it going to play out? And is it going to play out enough where it's like, this is going to be like one of my favorites, or is this just going to be like, eh?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, just to give the characters some names. So the dad is Tetsu Tosu.
Yes.
And the daughter is Rika.
Rika's interesting. Like, you wouldn't assume she would date a Yakuza boyfriend. You're like, oh.
I mean, it's one of those. I mean, I could see it.
I guess it's just like, okay,
from a normal, low key moderate
Yeah,
family.
true.
And she meets the flashy boyfriend.
Yeah.
Who's beating on her.
He starts off nice. Yeah.
She can't break her. She doesn't want, she is one of those I hate you but I love you type things where she hates that he does this, but she loves him. And she won't leave him, and they can't get her to leave.
So it kind of dives into the romance at least, too, right?
A little bit.
Okay.
So there's Nobutu Matori is the Yakuza's son that's beating on her and everything.
Okay.
And so, like, he dies, and she's going to college at this time. So after he dies, she goes to college, and she's coming back. And so after there's the dad and starts to involve the mom in the plot to have her help cover him some stuff up too. And there's a scene where this dude has like he's doing like the James Bond like rappel down the apartment building to the window, and I'm just like, oh Lord, this is just going way too far. Like it's like
nobody had that moment too.
Yeah, it's like. Because it's like, well, I watched all these murder mysteries, and that's their kind of like. And
Edwin shaking his head, his first shaking head.
My mother has watched a lot of Murder She Wrote and Law and Order SVU. Yeah. She ain't coming up with a plan like this.
No.
So
no.
It was just. It was entertaining enough.
Yeah.
To where if you wanted to watch it, you could get through it. If you just want to like enjoy the story of seeing that this dude can get away with it,
then it's fun. Yeah,
enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah,
but like if you're looking for an actual good story that makes sense, that's unfolding, and you're not
no. Okay.
I mean, it's emotional because you can feel for like a dad that's like
trying to defend his daughter. Yeah,
trying to defend his daughter. You understand what they're going through.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect in those moments too.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
There's nothing you could do. You don't want her to be in this.
No, but you don't know how to get her out.
Know
Yeah.
how to get out. So
yeah,
I feel there's emotional beats there that makes you feel for these people.
Well, that's good.
But
because some shows can't even establish that.
Right.
Yeah, they don't establish the emotional depth that.
Or the extremes with the violence, the on and off stuff.
So even after he dies, like, she's sad and they're just like trying to
comfort her,
comfort her and get over it and move forward. Because at first they don't. Let me clarify.
Okay.
At first she doesn't know that he's dead. They just think he's missing until they find out that he's dead.
Okay.
Like the dad has some people come and follow up and go back through the apartment, and they end up finding like blood residue there or something. So they know it's like, oh no, this dude is dead. So.
And that's the Yakuza dad, right?
That's the Yakuza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they're trying to find out where his son is.
Yeah. And the son is a bit of a knucklehead, but he's still the son.
Yeah. Well, I think the dad, from what I saw, that the Yakuza father seemed to be way more of a maniac than his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, his son just seemed to be like a really abusive boyfriend, which in and of itself is pretty bad because I think at some point he might have killed that girl, unintentionally maybe, but still, it's like no.
I think they touched on that. I think the dad touches on that at some point too. Like,
like he feared for his daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
He feared for his daughter.
And
I get it.
Nobutu, what I think was his name. He had a reputation for doing this with women. Like she wasn't the only one that she did this to.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So I mean, he already had that reputation going into it. So being with her too, and I think he had other women too, at the time with her too. So it was just the story is pretty straightforward. Daughter in a bad relationship, dad feels bad, but he just ends up killing the dude and is trying to cover it up.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
so do you think we should go back and like give it a shot?
You ain't missing anything.
Okay.
I don't know because that first episode, the OP too was kind of like sing-songy. So I'm like, that's a subject, though? I don't know.
You're not missing.
Well, come on. I mean, how many shows have had tonally incorrect
I know,
OPs?
but that one's like, this
Yeah.
is ransom. This is Yakuza shit.
Yeah.
He ends up winning in the end, and getting his daughter back and everything. So it's just like it's just if you want the happy ending, you get it,
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's still just kind of like
You're like, no.
it's just hard to believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even in this anime world, it's very difficult to believe.
So,
this scenario.
It's a skip.
I give it a 6.
Okay.
6. That's modest. Very
No,
modest.
I mean, I said a skip. I didn't say a 6.
No,
okay.
no, I know what you're saying.
Okay, so give it a 6.
I give it a 6.
6 is like
Okay.
one and done.
I
in my
mean,
book. Yeah.
if you have nothing else to watch and you're looking for something,
My home hero.
you can watch it.
Okay.
But if you don't want to go back to, you don't have to.
Yeah. That's
You're not missing out on anything.
Okay.
And
Cool.
this was this past year, too, 2023.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah.
Winter. Yeah, this is spring.
Okay, spring. Okay,
This
wow.
is spring season.
It feels like 9 seasons ago. Because I remember watching that first episode, right, as it debuted. I'm like, I saw the manga.
Well,
like, people were buying manga shit.
We had... Yeah, spring was pretty light. I think we all pretty much agreed on spring being a pretty light season.
And winter was like top
we
tiers.
had-
Yeah, we had, yeah.
Aside from
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer, Hell's Paradise.
Like a good stretch, like a good in between.
There were those were the heavy hitters, and everything else was just kind of like...
Yeah, they were trying to, like,
Nice surprises.
can we
Yeah.
crawl our way up to match? It's like, no. No.
It didn't quite make it.
Sorry.
Mm-mm.
And then we had our convention planning to do.
Yeah.
So we just weren't. We were kind of. It feels like forever because we spent so much time trying to catch up to summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That spring feels like forever.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
summer was relatively generous, I would say. It was a decent amount of rotation of shows this summer. And speaking of which,
There's a good amount of stuff in the summer so
Yeah.
far. We got some heavy hitters in summer.
yeah.
But to piggyback off of that, my second surprise catch up, which isn't really a surprise because I gave this one to you guys as a treat at our fan actual convention.
You did. You told us.
Second one is Horimiya.
Horimiya, which is one of my favorite slice of life romantic comedies
One
of
my
the past few years.
Yeah, one of my
Yeah.
favorite high school dramas for sure.
I actually found I told them about this show. I actually found the manga way before the show even came out. And I started reading it, and I had read all 14 volumes that were out at the time.
And this is the second printed stuff, and then the first one was the webcomic.
Well, originally. So what they did was they released the manga. They did the webcomic. They did the manga. And then they did a web, kind of like a web series.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's where
a series of web
that's where I get
shorts.
confused because that's
But
like,
that's not, that doesn't relate to the actual show.
yes.
Yeah,
That's the
that doesn't
missing
relate to the show at all.
Yes.
That was a completely different thing.
So the series does, but the web shorts don't.
Right. Well, the web shorts were like almost somebody trying to do a show on their own based off of the material, but it has nothing to do.
After the show.
No, that's nothing to do. That was before the show.
Yeah, before the original run.
Yeah, that was before the show.
The original one.
That was before the original run. Then they did the original one. But what happened was that they were so determined to do the entirety of the manga in that first season that they cut a lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
And so that's why you get this second season, which is a series of shorts, which is all the stuff that was in the manga, but that they left out.
The missing pieces.
The missing pieces.
Yeah.
Which I've watched a few. I'm not happy because out of context, out of the emotional context of the show, and that's one of the things about this show where it's like, it's the emotional context of what point they are in their relationship
Fair.
that really, really matters. And so when you watch these shorts out of context, you're just like, wait, I have to remember, because everything's already happened.
Yeah.
So emotionally, you have to go back and be like, all right, where were they at this point? Like he discovered her fetish by that point.
And the last
Had he
episode,
revealed himself,
yeah, the last
his
episode,
haircut.
yeah, the last episode, Hori gets mad at Mira because he doesn't say her first name.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah. So it's like, where are we?
Yeah.
That's the exact feeling that I got.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least watching the second one.
Since, especially coming off of watching the first season.
Yeah.
Like when I heard about the second season dropped, I already had you guys mentioning it, and then I had other people saying, "Hey, you should watch this." So I'm like, "All right, second season's coming. Let me get through it."
Yeah.
So I watched it like right before the second season, and then maybe about three weeks waited, but Missing Pieces came out, and I'm watching these episodes, and as I'm watching them, I'm not enjoying them as much as I would like to, because it's like you said, I'm trying to piece where it fits in the timeline.
Yeah.
And Matt, I was talking to somebody, Jacob. What's up, Jacob? At work about this yesterday because he recommended the show to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I've been watching the Missing Pieces," and he's like, "Yeah, well, how's it going?" I'm like, I like it, but I would like to watch this after the Missing Pieces is done, and then have somebody be like, "All right, watch episode 1 and 2, and then watch Missing Pieces 3." Because that'll apply to that, and that goes into progression, so I can get the linear story.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, when it's just on its own, taken out of context, it doesn't hold as much weight as it would in the show.
Yeah.
Because the progression that they go through.
Mm-hmm.
Because the show is different in that it's not really a will they won't they.
No, not at all.
Solidified.
It's like
they are.
When are they going to just define and accept this relationship?
Yeah.
Because it's like they're already there. Like it's happened before. It's happened to me. It's happened to people before where it's just like you're just hanging around a person all the time and people are just like, oh, they're together.
Yeah.
You're like, no, we're not. Until you get to a point where it's like, all right, what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, the interesting case with Horimiya is the first ever like clique show I like even the group of the clique is accepted Mira, and Hori's the one holding everyone together. So it's kind of like a seamless like, you're not only with the girl, you're with new friends, and these new friends also have problems too. So that's the very fascinating thing about the first season, and what they cut off initially for Pieces. It's the Friends. It's literally the Friends show, and I kind of like that. But the thing is, though, is that even the Friends are not having like their central problems being talked about.
I wouldn't say that they cut off the Busy Pieces, the Friends show.
Yeah,
I think that the Friends do provide some context, but the Friends also had their own stories that were developing too.
Yeah, and especially in the first season. Yes.
That kind of because you had the whole thing with Sakura and
it's not Sakura, poor Sakura.
What was it? Not Ishikawa.
The redhead or the green hair?
No. Oh my God, what was her name? Yeah.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
It starts with an I. Is it Ishikawa?
Maybe. Yeah. More.
Oh yeah. So Sakura likes him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he has his thing for somebody.
Well, he had his thing for Horimiya, or for Hori.
Or Hori first.
Yeah, he had his thing for Hori first, and then like Yuki. Well, Yuki that was kind of one of those things where it's like where you were like saying where two people hang out together so much. Because even Sakura was like, "Is there anything going on?" And when she asked Yuki, Yuki's like, "No." But she really wanted there to be, and then she didn't want to like she tried to play it off, and like that
kind of had that personality too, that whimsical kind of like.
Well, it was more like I'm afraid to ask for what I want, kind of like deal.
I get that. I'm just saying her personality in general.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That type of. They always had that kind of character.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the fun one. That's kind of like a little like
it's especially
whimsical, mystical, like just kind of
especially in high school dramas.
To the old beat of my drum type of thing.
Yeah.
So like when you see that person like want to express feelings but not say anything, there's always that kind of character.
Oh yeah.
And she's that one. But she shows it in ways, but you kind of miss the context of it just kind of goes Sakura story with them just kind of goes you can feel that there's missing context.
Yeah, and even with Pieces, they don't really address it too much.
No, they do.
Well,
they do.
They have one episode where she's reading the manga.
No, they address it. They address it in that one. They address it when they're having a sports day.
But you mentioned that like she was kind of put at bay though.
Yeah,
I mean, in the totality of it, yeah.
In
but
the totality of it, because
he falls for Yuki.
He falls for Yuki.
Yeah.
But so they had that conversation in the story, but you don't get as much context of Sakura and
it plays out over the course. Yeah.
So like you have sports day when she's like scared to do the cheerleading thing.
Yeah.
But she wants to do it to like kind of impress him. So she starts doing little things to try to like impress him that you kind of miss out on in the story because it's like we're going to quickly progress through this.
Yeah.
We know it's a story, but we're going to move through this quickly.
Yeah, they did.
And they have a couple of those. They have a couple of those.
Yeah, they do that. Like the neighbor gets a lot more time.
Yeah.
In the manga, and it's pretty funny.
He's an interesting character. I think.
No, the girl.
Oh, the girl.
Yeah, the short girl. I think the first year.
The class rep.
No, the first year that she likes Mia, and she's competing with Hori.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
No, she likes.
No, she likes Hori.
Yeah, she likes Hori.
Yeah.
She's competing. She wants to take
definitely in love with Hori.
She wants to sleep over at Hori's house. She wants to take a bath with Hori.
It's actually my second favorite episode. Yeah.
Yeah, those are in the manga that plays out a lot more, and it was really funny.
That's another one that I could feel because I already had your insight of there were things that were left out.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching it,
you're like, where did this character go? Yeah.
Those stories that I'm like, this character feels like a bigger character.
Yeah, she was.
They're not fleshing this out the way they normally would.
No. And I haven't watched all of the second season. Do they do the sleepover?
Yeah.
The sleepover.
It's like the second previous.
That was so much with all the guys.
Yeah. I saw it. Yeah.
Well, they do the hotel. That's the
that
hotel.
was the second episode, yeah.
But that's something separate.
Yeah.
Like toward the end, all the guys do like a sleepover, and it's hilarious because they're trying to figure out what's the most because they're not all friends, they're not all close in a certain way.
Yeah.
And so at the end, they do kind of like this sleepover thing where they're like trying to figure out the least awkward way to fit everybody in this one room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, was it all the guys? So they had that, and they had the one where they're under Hori's, what do they call it?
The Katsu.
Yeah, that's cute.
Katsu
thing. The leg tangled.
And their legs are all tangled.
Yeah.
the dad.
And he needs to use the bathroom, and the dad is just. And her relationship with her dad.
Man.
Like, there was some missing pieces there too.
Yeah.
But it's so funny.
Yeah, it's good. It's perfect the way it is, even for this.
It's so funny. Usually I'd be like, dang, like dads, like, man, why they always gotta do dads like that?
Yeah, but no, this show,
it just works for this show.
It does.
She has no use for that guy whatsoever.
Well, no, because she's pretty much like the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
And it's like she's got like this.
One.
Yeah, she's like the super responsible one, and her dad is just like this. Like her dad, I think, is just more aloof teenager than either one of them, which is like surprising because I think both of them, Hori and Horimiya, I think both of them have had to be more serious than the dad has.
Yeah.
So it comes across where it's like, what kind of a carefree kind of like existence as the dad had where like he's coming in and these two are way more responsible and serious than him.
And mom kind of lets it happen anyway. Yeah.
Well, mom's just like trying to keep everybody. She's trying to keep a roof over everybody's head.
Yeah. And we see her
every now and then. Yeah.
But when she's home, she's tired. You can understand.
Yeah. And then when the dad comes in the beginning of the show, when he just randomly shows up at home, and she's just waiting for him to leave, and he's just like, oh, "This is my house."
Yeah. I love when she walks in and she just drops the groceries. She's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "This is my house. What's up?" He's like, "I'm your husband. This is my house. What are you talking about?"
And he just loves Mia.
Oh yeah.
He loves Mia. He thinks they're the best of friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. When
he just hates it.
Well, the look on his face when the dad wanted to take a bath with him was priceless.
Yeah. And that's like
he's like, "Please help me, no."
And that's one of the funniest gags in the show because Hori's like because Mira's really pretty without the glasses. That she assumes that he can swing both ways.
Where there's a moment where the dad like kind of lifts his bangs and he's like, "Oh, you're really pretty. You're prettier than my daughter," and it's hilarious. Oh yeah. Oh no, Hori's not worried about other women. She's worried about other men, and it's hilarious because whenever he's talking to his friends, you can tell that he goes a little overboard because he hasn't had too many good close male friends.
Yeah.
Just that one crazy guy. And so Hori's like, "What's happening?"
And that was funny too because in that episode where they're sleeping in their katsu, she looks at his phone. And the dude sends the text messages to me and Mura. Yeah. Like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Come to the park. I love you, blah, blah." And Hori's just
like, "What is happening?"
Like, what's happening?
Oh, man.
And he's like, "Oh, I accidentally sent that to Mia." That's
he's like, "My bad."
But he doesn't text it.
No.
So he's just caught up in this situation.
And she will hurt him. And I like that this show doesn't do the whole will they won't they, because you get to see you get to see so many more facets of like the teenage personality
and
these characters
and the clique dynamic, like how they all mingle together and grow together and understand
belonging. Well, I think that one of the things too that I like is that they kind of erase all the cliques.
Yeah, well, ever since they became official, and everyone's like, "Okay, that's cool."
They just kind of become like this.
Even Mura's background and
they're all at least friendly with each other.
Yeah, well, they kind of become the catalyst for all of these people essentially working out through their issues. Mm-hmm. And then becoming just like a bigger and bigger friend group.
Yeah.
Because they just keep drawing people into their like this group because they're like, all right,
Yeah, and all of them we can identify with. I really identify with Shu. He's one of the first characters in a long while I identify with. Happy-go-lucky, green-haired, doofus. But then when he's home, he's kind of like,
serious and
he has a different face. He
has his school persona.
Yeah. He's got to take care.
Be serious for it.
And she's just kind of like, "Leave me alone."
Yeah.
But he's so possessive of her.
Yeah.
He's very defensive. That whole personality that he has at school is different at home. It's like I got somebody I gotta care for.
Yeah.
And then in Peace, they kind of play that off. He's a little bit more chill. And then there's an episode with Mira that kind of helps out his sister. So it's like, there's pieces like that. And it's good transitions. It's just an Easter egg type of season, to be honest. Like, okay, I like that. And it doesn't have to be full encompassing like standoff season on its own. It's just literally what it is.
No, the second season, is definitely like
Edwin said, like the worst part about the second season is not incorporated in the show.
Yeah.
Like I would love to get like release. This is going into something Jack would love. Release a DVD that has this in linear fashion.
Yeah.
That has everything mixed in together. Like this is the way the story should have been told. And that would be perfect.
It's a good add-on. Why
You
not?
would get all these different emotional layers and beats because it's like I don't like they. It's like you said they have these little things that they got to work through. Like when I think they're planning for the sports day or something, and Hori's sitting outside and she's drawing the stuff and her legs are cold. And the dude walks by and he's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" She's like, "Oh, my legs are cold," and he gives her a jacket. And Mia walks by and he's like, "Whose jacket is that?"
Yep.
And she's like, "Oh, somebody." And he's like, He takes the jacket, he gives her hers, and then before he comes back, he switches them out. And like it seemed like not a thing, but earlier in that episode, she saw a girl like looking over his book because she left hers at home and she's just steaming in the back. And was just kind of like, what's going on? Oh, no, she's yeah.
Yep.
And Mia's just like, she left her book at home. She's just
It's like it's innocent.
right,
It's like,
it's
yeah.
innocent. But in her mind, she's thinking like he never gets jealous.
Yeah.
And so when he does the jacket thing,
It's like
she
he gets
perks up because she's
he
like,
got jealous,
he
yeah.
got jealous. He feels it too.
Yeah.
So it's like little stuff like that. You have things like that, and then when you come back with the missing pieces later, out of that context,
Yeah.
it's
hard to
adjust.
Well, I like it because it shows and that's one of the things that I think that I ended up like when I rewatched this show when me and Jack talked about it a little while back was
Yeah.
when we went back and when I rewatched it, I think that I noticed that I love it because it gets past the will they won't they into the relationship, but it also gets into that psychology of relationships and how they play out, especially for teenagers. It's like, well, if he's not jealous, does he really care? Right. Or that possessiveness.
Yeah, very early, like learned lessons in love too, in a weird way. And it's some people will be lucky to get that sometimes.
Well, especially from an anime because most of them, it's like most of them aren't this. And I don't want to say subtle. I'll say both. Most of them aren't this complex for like a slice of life comedy.
I was going to say
drama.
Mature. Yeah, there's a good word for it.
I found this to be a very mature show that handled it in a very mature way.
Yeah.
Like they didn't dumb the kids down.
No.
They didn't make them. There was some funny in there.
Yeah.
But it was funny in the context of
that emotional.
Really happening.
Yeah.
Like, I can see this couple.
Yeah.
I can see this couple as teenagers. I can see this couple as 20s. I can see this couple in their 30s. Like I can see this couple and how their relationship progresses.
That emotional complexity. Yeah.
And it transitions over to like adulthood.
Yeah.
It could very easily happen to somebody in their 30s that bumps into a lady that has a kid, and y'all are just hanging out. And the kid likes him, and he's like, "All right, is he coming over? All right, come on."
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
So it's like before it started off as like, "Hey, Sato wants to see you," and
he's like, "Okay."
Like, "Ooh, I want to see you."
Yeah.
So to close this out, I really enjoyed the show. I think in terms of, even though everyone thinks I hate romance,
I never said that.
I think in terms of, I think in terms of the romantic slice of life type things, I think this is the best one I've seen.
I agree.
This is solid. This is solid 8.5 at least. Very well done. The missing pieces are good too. Like again, they're fine as standalone episodes, but within the context of the show, they would have a much greater impact.
Okay.
So whoever the studio is, you can take this idea. You don't have to pay me. Come out with the DVD.
Yeah.
And have all the episodes in the progression that it should.
Look, man, the studio doesn't even have to do that. If they do a fan, if somebody does a fan supercut,
fan edit.
A fan supercut is definitely going to happen.
I'm there for that. I'm down for that.
A fan supercut is going to happen.
Even with the web shorts too, I could see that.
I'll give this. I give Horimiya a 9.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't take mine back. I give it a 9. I give it a 9.
And now we have Kyle with a cameo spun on his review of Horimiya. Greetings.
Yeah, Horimiya is definitely like a top tier romance anime.
And it's your favorite romance.
It's probably my favorite romance anime. It's one of the first ones I actually like genuinely enjoyed for more like the actual story as well. Because, you know, a lot of the trope, it's like you wait till the end of the first season for them to actually like even like hold hands or some stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like they were together by like halfway through the season. And like they actually like you'd have to see like the not the romance, their relationship progress. And so like when Miyamoto like actually cut his hair for her, that was like she thought that he was making her look bad. That's true.
That was a big thing too. Yeah. I mean, I think before you got here, we did mention that like they kind of threw the tropes out the window on this show, and they kind of went their own way. And I used the word mature. Edwin used subtle and
emotional complexity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like oh my bad.
That's all right.
Very well done show. Good job.
I love also like that the side characters have their proper romance stories and everything like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. They all have their own. I think Edwin said this. They all kind of branch off of Horimiya, and they have their stories that are encompassed in it, but they're kind of like the center.
And they
of
also don't play. They also don't do like the tropes within those relationships.
Correct.
It's more about. I like it because it's less about the tropes and more about the personalities of the characters.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how those personalities either match or clash or like
like the example I brought up with Shu, and Shu is like the classic like kid that you always want to hang out with, and he's super goofy, but then he's a totally different person at home. You can analyze those type of like characteristics too.
Also, was the little sister's like the guy? Was he interested more in the older brother? Because like I was like getting that feel.
They kind of talk about that in the second season,
like in that way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know you like reading the mangas for shows. Do yourself a favor. Read the mangas for Horimiya.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, because like me and Jamaal were talking about how the second season, what they did was that they were so worried about not being able to do a second season of Horimiya that they essentially just cut out a lot of stuff.
Also, so stripped content, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
They cut out a lot of content just so that they could fit everything into that first season. Because they're like, we don't want to wait. We don't want another studio to do this. We want to do it. But because it was so popular, they were able to do the second season that fills in the gaps that, the things that they cut out.
Yeah, it definitely makes more sense that way. Now I see what you're talking about.
And it still feels like there's a lot more to cover too in the manga. So I was like, do it. Read the manga.
There was there's 16 issues to the manga. Definitely, like even for like anybody listening, like it's worth reading the manga because it makes more sense and there's more like emotional beats and the humor, just the funny.
Yeah,
it's like there's so many funny moments.
I personally read the first two, and the first two are great.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you just want the story to stay as it is, or would you like more?
I'm more interested now with the shorts. I'm more interested now with the webcomic.
Because I feel like it really showed like that was at the end of the series pretty much at the end of the first season. Like it was the finale, like everything that happened.
Yeah,
like,
graduated. The general storyline.
Yeah.
If they skipped ahead like 5 years, I'd like to see where these characters are at.
Kind of like a reunion thing.
That would be cool.
A reunion thing, but also like how is their relationships, like what trials and tribulations have
I have a weird thing.
Like what, because as you become an adult, there's things that you have to face. It's like I'd like to see how Hori responds to like, does he keep the bakery job? Does he find another job? Does he stay there? Like, does she get a job? Does she have coworkers? How does he feel about her coworkers? This and that. where are the other ones? Have they moved away? How are their relationships?
Mm.
You know, I think that would be really cool to see, just because they did such a good job of developing these characters and their personalities, to see how they've dealt with, 5 years on, how they've dealt with all the adult things that you have to face within those like 5-10 years.
That's interesting.
I think that would be
Yeah.
like really cool.
Well, when we did our original review with Horimiya, the second anime we reviewed in our special
Sing
was
Yesterday
Sing
for
Yesterday for Me.
which
That-
is another one of my favorite.
and that one
romance
is
ones.
literally what it is, like years after hanging out in college. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
kind of, sort of, yeah.
So it's one of those shows that you'd be amazed if you give it a try, especially with the romance category, because a lot of anime fans, they kind of brush it to the side.
No, I think these are two of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never actually fully finished what Sing Yesterday for Me, so I got like 3 episodes in, and then I think that was when Attack on Titan came back out.
Oh, you
Probably.
yeah, you got distracted.
So
yeah.
Attack on Titan is like that's my baby. That's my first anime. So
Oh, these
the
two,
the proxy.
yeah.
Attack
Oh,
on
yeah.
Titan. I think we've mentioned this before. I think Attack on Titan is one of those gateway animes
It is.
for
Oh,
this
yeah.
generation
You
now.
name it. Yeah.
So that's fine.
because I actually judged people. I think I said this in the last episode I was on. I judged people for like watching anime when I was younger. I was an idiot looking back, because anime is awesome. Like I went from hating on it to wearing anime shirts to,
What do you mean when you were younger?
like growing up and like all through like my teenage years until I was like 16, I didn't like anime.
Yeah.
You're 20.
Yeah, so like
You're
4 years.
still younger.
younger, like teens,
That doesn't
early
count.
teens. I'm in my 20s now.
You're
Hey,
pressed,
man,
too.
4 years is a long time.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so rate the shows from best to worst. Horimiya, Sing Yesterday for Me, Tomo-chan's Girl.
Well, for me,
Why are
it's
you
gonna
doing
be-
this to me?
It's going to be Horimiya. It's going to be Sing Yesterday for Me, and then it's going to be Tomo-chan. And it's that order, yeah.
I think that's the order I agree with.
Oh,
I know Jack's going to have a hard time because
Horimiya
yeah.
is that awesome.
Yeah, but
But
he loves. I think Jack loves Sing Yesterday for Me just a smidge more.
Yeah, and
so I'm going to take him off the hook.
It's
and,
tied
like,
at the moment
yeah.
with Tomo-chan and Sing Yesterday.
You can't
Really?
tie. You cannot tie.
Yeah, there's
Really?
a reason why there's 3.
You
have
cannot
It's such a
tie.
sud-
to make a decision.
It's such a
Put
sudden
your
question,
foot
though.
Down.
It's such a sudden question.
Wait, you're
though.
putting Horimiya ahead of Sing Yesterday
no
for you?
blow.
I kind of figured that. But wait, so Tomo-chan is almost on par with Sing Yesterday in your book?
Yes.
Wow. That
See,
catches
this
me.
is why I ask questions.
Yeah, that catches me. That kind of catches me off guard.
And Hori's no slouch. It's technically one of my favorite. Technically, if I had put it in a high school category, like Kaguya-sama as well, like that's romance. That's
I haven't
comedy.
finished. Do not spoil the last season for me. Okay.
That's what I mean. That's like its own sub category of great.
That's
Kaguya-sama is-
That's a little
great.
different.
yeah.
Yeah, that's more comedy.
And high school is just a
Yeah.
setting at the end of the day.
I mean, it's Rome. I think that's more comedy.
And
than
Hori's
yeah.
like we're talking about high school. We're talking about cliques. We're talking about like interacting.
Yeah,
with
I
friends.
think those
That's what I
other
think-
shows are kind of in the
Well,
same.
I think
sort of
that
realm.
well with
Tomo.
no Kaguya-sama. Kaguya-sama, that's more about like taking the tropes to like a ridiculous
Yeah.
degree because it's like isn't like we're gonna take this trope and we're just gonna totally like go to the extreme. And isn't that funny? And yes, it is.
Oh, that's great. I love the
Absolutely.
narration at the end of the
Oh, yeah.
episodes.
Oh,
Or the
yeah.
bits.
Yeah, he's
for,
like
for both
yeah.
versions too, English
Yes.
and the
Yep.
brilliant.
This battle goes to Kaguya. Yep. And the way he says it too, that voice.
Aren't they cute?
Yep. Isn't it sickeningly adorable? Don't you always want to die?
I just love
It's
when
like,
he cracks up too. He's like, "This is so ridiculous." Oh man.
Good shows. Good shows.
Okay, that was our second surprise catch up with Horimiya.
Okay, so Kyle, before you get up out of here,
Okay.
we're probably going to have you back.
what's going on?
We're definitely going to have you back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But as of now, I see your list. What are your top 10 thus far this year?
Thus far this year, actually, I didn't mean to put this number 2. I was
No,
just,
you
I was
can
just writing
switch
down
it.
my
You have
favorites
time.
of the year.
No,
I was just
I
writing
get
down my
it.
favorites of the year so
Right,
far.
right.
So, I actually don't have a 10 yet either way. So
If
number
you don't,
one.
if you don't have it in any particular order, that's fine too.
So I know that my number one, without a doubt, is going to be Jujutsu Kaisen. It's my favorite manga. It's my favorite anime.
And you know shit's going down.
And shit's going down.
I mean, I think it's pretty fair to say, even taking out the fact that you read the manga and you know what's forthcoming.
It also has been great.
I think it's fair to say, even standing on its own right now as it is,
Because it connects everything.
It has number one contention as it is. Anyway.
I agree.
And then Blue Lock is my number two. Because, as you know, when we worked together, it's all I would talk about. Yeah.
I watched it. It was very good.
It was very good.
I give you credit.
And then I had Hell's Paradise. No, not Hell's Paradise. I think Zom 100 is going to be my number three. Just the way I'm liking it so far. If I see a shark with feet and legs.
I'm waffling between those two, to be honest.
So I'm expecting Zom 100. It's in my top 10 already. But I'm expecting it to be like top 3. And then Mushoku Tensei, because it's been letting me down so much, but I have so much faith in it. It's my number 4. But I have that high hopes. So it's a hopeful 4 still.
Okay.
Maybe 2. I doubt it'll take over Jujutsu Kaisen. Very much doubt it. And then My Hero Academia I really liked this new season.
I'm a couple more episodes to finish.
I got like 2 more episodes left. So.
Okay. Yeah.
But like so far it's been up there.
I like the first half a lot.
If you only have a couple episodes, you've pretty much seen what all needs to be seen.
Well, there's 2 arcs. There's two build-up arcs. Yeah.
I've liked Dr. Stone a lot.
Dr. Stone I had a halt after the first episode of second season. I know. I have to catch up.
No, it's just like I'm a nerd, so I really liked it.
Yeah. No, the first season is phenomenal because it gives you back the good balance between the science and the structure of the world. But this season, because it's a clash, I'm like, I've seen that with Attack on Titan. I've seen that with Kaisen. I'm not like, I don't want that from Dr. Stone.
And then it was Hell's Paradise. I really liked Hell's Paradise.
It might be a guaranteed top 5 for me.
That's one of Jack's favorites.
Yeah.
Might be guaranteed.
Then Chainsaw Man. Yeah. Chainsaw Man,
well,
I was a little
last year.
disappointed.
Came out last year.
I thought it was this year it came out.
I don't know.
Really?
I think Chainsaw Man was last year, man.
I thought it came out this year. It was winter 2023, I thought.
I think he's trying to cheat.
No.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
You've been reading the manga at least. You've been catching up with the manga, I take it, right?
I don't think it was fall 2020 or fall 20.
You're right. It was definitely.
No, but you've been reading the manga this year, I bet.
No, I've only read up to like I think volume 3, I think, for the manga. So I was mostly
this first season anyway.
Yeah. But oh my god, that kind of messes up my list. And then I had Demon Slayer though after that.
Okay.
I don't really like Demon Slayer.
That was fall 2022.
Okay.
Well, we were hesitant too.
It started October 11th, so we're almost a year.
We had Demon Slayer initially lower because we didn't see the finale.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I wasn't a fan so far.
I think Edwin. I think had it as number. That was your number 2.
You know what came out this year that I really liked? Actually, I'm moving this up to like my number 6 spot. The Eminence in Shadow.
Eminence Shadow.
Okay.
Oh no, that's last year too.
No, I thought it was this year.
I enjoyed Eminence of Shadow. I don't remember what year it was.
Am I just wrong with my years?
I think Eminence was at least winter though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like 99%.
That was a good one. Yeah, so am I. That was a good one.
Okay,
that was
a good one.
That was 2020.
He was an original character. I liked
2022. Him. Yeah, that started October 2022 as well.
Oh shit.
That was October 5th.
That's a long series too, if I take.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one went on.
Yeah,
and plus there was delays in that one.
It's a halfie. It's a ranking kids did that too.
They kept going into 2023.
So there was 20 episodes and 7 of them were 2023. Mm-hmm. So that's mostly a 2022 show.
I just realized I've been lacking on my anime lately.
We know.
So like I've been rewatching a lot of stuff to be honest.
It's okay.
So it's
if you love you love.
I mean I've rewatched Psych TK again. So like that was another one I rewatched.
I felt like I had to rewatch Tensei.
Yeah.
Mushoku Tensei. Yeah.
Yep.
I rewatched like twice. Sadly, that was kind of a. But oh my god, I know this is not from this year, but I wanted to watch Monster.
Yeah, that one's older. I like the author. The one I really like though is Asador. Read Asador. It's phenomenal, and I can't wait for the next volume.
And I've been watching a lot of the Junji Ito Maniac. Japanese Tales of the
It just came out, right?
Yeah, so technically that one does count.
All right, yeah, yes.
Junji,
That's the Italian book, remember?
I think that did come out
for Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember about the Italian book at the convention?
Yeah, that works. Jack has been singing the praises of Ito for years. So,
Here and there instances. He's good. It's the Stephen King of anime or manga for sure.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying.
But he takes a lot of homage to 70s grindhouse Japanese films, like Housei. Yeah, he's pretty clever with that. One of his stories reminds me of Audition. That's my favorite. One of my favorite all-time favorite.
Is that the lady with the big like teeth?
No. That one's.
Murakami? Ryu Murakami?
I liked Murakami. Or Ricky Murakami. I liked Burning. That was a good movie. But
So I think he did the illustrations for the No Longer Human book.
oh, yeah, that's Ito.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was.
I'm getting confused with Haruki Murakami now.
Yeah. I'm terrible at names, too.
Yeah, in Japanese names too. Holy cow!
What are you trying to say?
No, it's hard for me to align with a lot of names too.
So
What do you mean by that?
Oh God!
So that was your. You got
Like
any more on
your current
list?
favorites, no matter what the year is. I like that.
No matter what the years is, it changes. Oh wait, Horimiya.
Okay, for
Yeah.
peace. You like peace then? That much?
Sometimes peace.
Yeah.
I'm very chaotic.
Okay, that's not a bad list. We're going to circle back because we're going to have to do our best of the year at some point as soon as we get our best of 2022 out.
Yep.
I just need to color the artwork.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
almost done.
you all hear it. Edwin's going to be coloring the artwork. Our best of 2022 will be coming out very soon. And we're going to have a best of 2023, man. 2023 had a big year. We had a lot of heavy hitters this year.
And I said it was weak.
So we're going to continue and see how it goes.
Until you watch Otaku Off, then your heart will change.
You know,
Otaku Elf? What's that on?
Oshinoko was a big one as well.
But it's not in my top 10.
It might not be in our personal top 10, but
I'll watch so much.
it was a heavy hitter in terms of anime
What's
this
that?
year. It had
There-
a very strong
Yeah, there's a few.
reception.
Yeah, like
I mean, I've heard anime of the year talks for Oshinoko.
yeah.
this year.
There's a few at the top of my head. Assassination Classroom. That's one that's always in people's top 10s.
That had a new season this year.
Yeah, this coming season, summer, if I'm mistaken. I thought or spring.
Assassination Classroom.
I believe so. Or no, not assassination. It's a classroom run with Spy Classroom.
Uh,
Yeah, I think that's that one.
Oh, Spy Classroom.
There you
Okay,
go, Spy
okay.
Classroom.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay,
That's
okay.
my mistake.
I was like Assassination Classroom.
No,
I thought that ended.
I have yet to catch that one. I need to catch.
I
that
know
one.
what you meant. I was like, wait.
Yeah,
oh, wait.
something classroom.
Yeah,
Sponsored by High Dive
Sponsored by High Dive, and I'll.
for $4.99 a month.
You watched that?
Oh yeah, I'll always endorse High Dive.
Yeah, for a little while.
I mean,
I watched like maybe half the
season,
season, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm okay." Because I'm like, this is just frustrating because there was no way they were going to be able to kill that guy. I'm like, they kept trying, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not, I can't.
It's like
do-
One Punch Man. No.
Well, I'm like, I can't do like 3 or 4 seasons of this because it's just like, at some point they're going to decide, well, yeah, they need to make some progress, but it's like, will they ever really beat him? Will they ever really be able to kill him?
I
don't
kind of
think
really
so.
don't like that show, to be honest.
Okay, I've yet to check it. I've always been hesitant, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of like
Mob
good
Psycho
shows.
as well. A lot
Mob
of
Psycho was fucking great.
people- Yeah, because I'm not.
Did you watch the Netflix live action of it?
No, I didn't even know they had one.
Man, a lot of live
I
action.
randomly
Oh
thought
wait,
it
did you guys see the Tokyo Revengers live action?
No, I did not.
It was so
But
funny
I'm
and
glad
goofy.
you brought that up
Oh man,
because I hate that show. That show stinks.
I thought you liked it.
No, that show stinks like
You
dog
told me you
poo.
liked it.
No, I didn't. I clearly said I can't wait to bash that show.
Oh,
I
you
hate
did,
this
yeah, that's
show.
true. Yeah, universal
And
hater
I
Jamal.
think season 3 is supposed to be coming out soon, ain't it?
Season 2, I thought.
Season 2, I know just came out
What?
earlier. I think it's season 3 supposed to be coming out soon.
Where have I been? Hold on.
Tokyo Revengers, yeah,
We're getting to season 3 soon, right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
They've been moving pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been releasing those regularly. There hasn't been big gaps between like the seasons,
Ridiculous.
the way with other shows.
Yeah, it's coming October 2023. Pause. So
They've been putting out one each year.
say that every time?
that's funny. Yeah, I don't like that show at all. I don't
aggravating.
See,
It is aggravating, but
I don't
I like
see
the
why
other.
people
The
love it
side
so
characters are so much better than the main character. It's one of those shows. Like Mighty and Dragon Kun.
Dragon, yeah,
Dragon.
Dragon.
Shonen.
They're so much better.
They're more interesting, but Takemichi's just.
Takemichi fucks up the show a lot.
I hate Takemichi.
It's like honestly, it's like pre like Asta being anything useful. Black Clover.
Oh yeah.
the show.
He makes that show hard to watch.
Yeah. And Edwin's been patient. He saw as much as he could with that one.
Did you guys like the movie for
I
Black
get
Clover?
to see it. I've only saw the first half of Black Clover myself.
Oh, it's not Tanit though.
Oh, okay.
So you're done.
Oh, I watched about 74 episodes of Black Clover. Yeah,
It's hard to get through.
You're tapped out.
I'm tapped out. I'm like, Asta, kid, I can't with you. I couldn't. But I'll take Asta. I'll take Asta and his annoying. I will take Asta over Deku any day of the week. Because
Well, who do you think screams louder, Bakugo or Asta? Asta's pretty damn loud.
no, Asta screams
Asta's
louder than
his
anybody.
only dialogue is screaming.
Yeah.
He has he has no chill.
Yeah.
Like he literally his whole his inner monologue is quiet, but everything else is like up
Loud,
to like
obnoxious.
Yeah,
He's a chihuahua. He's a buff chihuahua.
he is. And I'll still take him over Deku.
Yeah. Poor Deku.
Huh? I hate on Deku. and I hate more on him. Look. So in shonen shows, you're supposed to hate the rival, right?
The shonen hater here. He's an expert.
Look,
No. You hate a lot of the MCs in shonen. I've noticed.
well, because usually they're meant, and I get it. It's their arc, it's their growth, it's the path that they have to journey on, and I get it. But some of them are so annoying, and some of them are so self-destructive that it's just like Deku is
All this shit is your problem. You are the issue.
What?
Like a lot of the time, that is their own fault.
Right? It's them.
Yeah.
It's literally them. When I hate your rival, but then I have to agree with your rival that you're a big screw up. Do you know how much that pisses me off? Do you know how much it pisses me off to have to agree with somebody that I hate that much? And I'm like, yep.
Nah,
he's fucking
Shigaraki
right.
Loki in the right.
I'm done.
That was a clean flip, by the way.
I know.
That was very well done, Phil. That was great.
That
I
was
wish
like-
y'all could have seen that on camera.
That was
He has his notebook and he flipped it perfectly.
Dude, because it's like,
That is hilarious.
don't make me agree with characters that I hate. If I'm agreeing, if me and the character that I hate both hate you together, it is a bad sign. That is a bad sign for you, sir. And that's Deku. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think of other MCs I can't stand.
And it's like, I could deal with Asta, and Asta's like, his voice.
Like the worst part about Asta is he just doesn't shut up.
Yeah. That's,
Other than
yeah.
that, he's a good character.
Really.
He just doesn't shut up. That's
Yeah.
his,
He does shine in the show. I do
He
admit
does.
that. Yeah.
He does. And there's growth. There's enough growth there. And like, even like personality wise, there's enough growth there where you're like, okay. But like, it's that voice and his like level 10 energy all the time that gets to you. But like, I'll take it. Yeah. I'll take that over Deku any day of the
because
week.
Zeto's a crybaby little bitch.
I wasn't going to say it like that, but yeah.
Well,
My thing is, Deku, look, because Deku wants more than he can attain all the time. It's like, dude, this is not responsible heroing.
Yeah.
Where you have to destroy your entire body just to save people. You're being a
You're
dick.
trying to be a messiah as well. Like you're trying to like die for it. Feels like.
I get you.
How are you saying?
Well, he's selfish.
Yeah.
He is. It's not sacrifice. It's his self. It's to me. It's just base level selfishness. He wants to be a hero. He wants to save people, regardless of the cost to himself. It's like, dude, if you're dead, you can't save anybody.
Yeah.
If you're broken, if you're paralyzed, if
I
you're-
loved All Might though.
Well, yeah. But if you're broken and you're paralyzed and you're laying in a bed where you can't do anything for anybody, how does that help anybody?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like, all right, I get it, but it's like,
He does have some great fights. That's like his one redeeming factor.
yeah.
Like versus Overhaul, that was a great fight. Versus the big punchy guy, the big muscle guy.
Yeah.
When he went 200%, that was awesome. Like I get it. Like those are the moments like I hate on him for. Like you just hated on him for. Like he had to destroy his body. They look cool though.
It always. Well, that's the thing.
They make it cool, of course.
That show always makes that's one of the best things about that show. The fight scenes are always cool. Yeah. Like they do find, and I'm not hating on the show itself. I'm just hating on.
I hate on the fact that the MC is like the most boring character in the show.
There's nothing. Yeah, like it's just like
his only personality is being an all might fanboy and like having a loser mentality. Like he's not good enough every time.
Yeah.
And
the thing is that he doesn't make himself. It's like, dude, my thing is like, why are you even in this school?
Yeah.
Why are you even in this school? Why are you with these people? These people had their quirks, and they're making them work. He should have just like left and like, you know what? I'm gonna prepare my body. I'm gonna work on my body. I'm gonna get to the point where I can handle this, and then I'm gonna be a hero. No. He's like, I'm going to go to school with everybody else because, like, no, dude.
It's because of society, yeah.
I get it, but it's like, no, dude.
Fuck you. You don't got no
What's
torque.
like what Kyle said? He's a fanboy.
He is.
He's a total fanboy, and it's like he's almost making that he's such a fanboy that it's also it's detrimental to him and everybody around him
so bad.
Yeah,
like Bakudo, like he's also a fanboy, but he wants to be his own version of All Might. He wants to surpass him in a different way.
Bakugo gets it.
He gets it.
And that's the thing that pisses me off about it's like I hate him. I hate him, but he gets it.
Yeah,
Deku doesn't get it, and that's what makes me hate Deku even more. It's like, how can this guy get it? I can't stand this guy, but he gets it. And you can't. You literally just don't get it.
Also, Lemillion deserved one for all.
Well, of course, it's the theme.
Lemillion is the best.
Yeah, it's the theme of the show, though. Like even with the best quirks imaginable and all the gifts.
I get it. The struggle, overcoming.
Yeah, and Deku is
the character arc.
The weird shining light that All Might was like, okay.
But they make him so like. I
know it's frustrating.
Yeah, like almost. And
that's why I always brought up the 180 with Jujutsu Kaisen because it's like. Kaisen makes you care about everything.
Because like usually,
whereas My Hero just you glimpses and pieces, and even though I'm keeping up, even though I like season 6 more than the last 2 seasons, there is like no consequence.
This hate comes from a place of love because I love the show so much. I'm not just hating on My Hero. It was in my top 3, I think, for favorite animes, but.
Yeah, I'm not hating on the show either. Like the show has
it's a tough love.
The show has really good moments. It has I think some weaker arcs than others, but I think overall it's an amazing show. I think just the MC is like, and people will not be happy with me, but I just don't agree with them.
Yeah,
you versus the world.
Mm-hmm. I mean
it's a breakdown of superhero ideology too. Yeah,
that circles back to what we said about Jujutsu Kaisen in that it kind of breaks that trope because and that's always been a thing that bothered me. Like this is the Dragon Ball effect, unfortunately, because people like are basing everything off the success of that and Goku, but it's like most Dragon Ball fans like the other side characters more than they like Goku. Like. People were livid at the end of Dragon Ball Super that Vegeta didn't win. But Android 17 won, and they're like, I mean, at least it wasn't Goku.
Yeah, Goku's
like, because everybody's so tired of everybody's like, we want Vegeta to have his moment because people see that story progression of his character. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, that's what we want. And I don't know why, for whatever reason, Toriyama won't do it. And all these other anime, they always push these main characters that are pretty much wholly unlikable. And I'm like, why do you keep doing this? But then you see Jujutsu Kaisen and you're like, you can do this.
But then you make Jujutsu Kaisen makes a main character that's so lovable and then make him fail over and over and over again.
But that's what they do in shonen. They make you fail over and over again. Yeah. They never win the first fight. They always lose the first fight.
In Itadori's case, is like he's still learning. It's like he's still outside the bubble of being the hero, which is very fascinating.
And he's different because
because he's more like a puppy dog. Than like and
on top of that,
he's like, I will take. I will take all the beat. I will take the beat down. But it's like.
I love
he
Ichi.
doesn't come from that
He's
world.
gonna come.
No,
he's
far from
He doesn't come from. He doesn't
So
come from that world.
It's not like he's not like from the Zenin clan.
It's an adjustment, yeah.
Or like from Gojo's clan or anything. It's like I did this to save somebody, and now I have to surround myself with people that's in this world that know what it's about.
Yeah.
So
I can learn.
learn. So it's like you said, he's like a puppy dog, but he's like a sponge. Like it's like I gotta learn this stuff fast.
Yeah.
Because not only is he trying to learn,
He's also trying
he's
to
on a
stay
time
alive.
limit.
Well, see, Itadori understands.
Yes,
That if he screws up,
it's over.
no, not it. It's
It's
not
over.
just about him.
Because the people can use Sukuna.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
It's about the people.
and I was about to say
comes
that-
out, it's over. And, that's
And
why
I was about to say that
it's over.
he's
But
also
it's-
partnered with the ultimate villain.
He has to hurry up because the other people around him count on him.
I didn't
You know,
hear it.
so he's gonna do whatever he needs to do, but it's not about his like need to like become something.
Yeah.
It's his need to like have consideration for the other people too. He's like,
He
I
just
need
wants
to.
to live. Which brings us back to Mushoku Tensei with the episode of the slave girl. She just wants to live, and Rudius
See,
gives her that.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to.
She doesn't want to die.
I
It's
was
good
going to
enough.
revert it back to Zom 100
Oh.
because they have that moment where he wants to be the hero, and Shizuka goes and she's yelling at him, and she's like, "What good would it do if you go out there and get yourself bitten and killed? What about your friend? What about your friend? What about these other people that you're not going to be able to help because you're running out there like an idiot?"
For beer.
Well, this is when he had to like
The suit
the
and
pseudo.
being a hero.
This was, you
yeah.
didn't see it because this was the
The
aquarium
shark episode. Yeah.
But he has the suit on and he's like going to save these couple people. And she's like, "You can't. What good are you if you're dead to anybody?" And it makes him think. And he has to sit back and ponder. And that's kind of like when he first started to realize how real this was. And it made him sit and ponder like, all right, man, I
He started to realize in episode 4.
He started to
but
realize.
Then the TV part brought him back into this
Yeah.
like Goofy land.
Yeah. So that's what I thought of when you were explaining that.
Oh, okay.
So that's what came back to me, especially like when we're talking about Zom 100. So it is a great show. I think it's being very well received, and I hope it does. I hope it does well, man. We'll see at the end of the year. Crunchyroll. We'll see if they are listed.
When they do their awards.
Well, their awards are so shit.
We'll see if
It's
it lives
so
up
weird.
to ours.
Anime Corner, they kind
That's
of
so
like
weird.
do both platforms. Always
Well,
yeah.
it's like I think of it like NBA fan voting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like Attack on Titan's going to win because it's just the sheer number of people that love the show.
Yeah.
It may not have been the best. It's good, but there's these other things that should at least be in contention. But it's just getting.
I didn't even
blown
qualify
out the
Attack on
water.
Titan because it was like not enough material. I felt like that's why for me.
Yeah,
it
and how they won the last best
see,
best anime of the
part
year.
4, part 5,
Yeah.
part 3.
I'm so
the final
sick
season.
of Attack on. I want this show to end. I like this. I love the show.
Yeah, but
I'm so sick of how they're pimping this show out. I want it to
pimping
end.
this show out. Did you just say that?
They are pimping this show out
Yeah, that
because.
Yeah.
I see your point.
Come on now. It does not take. You're animating this stuff. It's not taking you 6-8 months to animate this. It took you all of that to animate 3 episodes, and now you're doing this again. You're giving me part 4, part 3, part 2. This is what I'm waiting on.
Part 1B, Part 3C,
I'm literally
Part
waiting on part
4D,
4, part 3, part 2.
Section 2
This is
of
stupid. Stop it.
Section 2
Stop
of
it.
Section 3,
Just-
Part 2.
Just a lawyer manuscript.
Yeah, pretty much at this
Yeah.
point.
Wait,
yeah.
wait until you get into Berserk. Oh man,
I ain't doing that.
I'll read it. I'm not ever gonna watch that.
you'll like it. You'll like.
No, 'cause
I
it's like that CGI is disgusting.
It's not bad. The story carries. I think.
I think they need to do a real adaptation.
they could.
They
They
I actually would like to see Wit Studio do it.
maybe or Mappa. Mappa could be
I
like,
think
you know what?
Mappa.
Let's
I
let's
think
do it.
Mappa
Mappa's got their
should-
hands tied with a lot
They
of
have
stuff.
so much to do,
I know.
and I don't want them to push it to the side and use a lot of
I know.
CGI.
It's true. And I've worried about that too. That's a tough one.
because you can see more CGI coming out.
No, the one for my slice of life, Duke of Death. that's like the best transitional CGI to 2D style I've seen.
I have to agree with Jack because I hate that style. That style came out with Knights of Zidonia,
Yeah,
I think, on
They also
Netflix.
did it in Overlord, which I
yeah.
hated.
Yeah, it was really bad. Oh my god,
RWBY.
those the I don't know even how you do
It's just weird.
the Tommy knockers.
Yeah, and it's still not
thing,
perfect.
That the big blobs with the mouse. That was the worst CGI transition I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But the Duke of Death is the best.
So nobody here has watched Bleach, the new season?
Sadly, no.
I haven't.
It's because I want to rewatch the original,
You don't have to?
and then Martin was one that
I can
convinced
give
me
you
to read the manga. I'm like, fine, I'll read the manga.
I have not. Martin actually dressed as one of the characters for a convention.
yes.
He was a big
I
Bleach
watched
fan.
the first season. I haven't watched any of this season
I
yet.
got to like episode 10 of the first season.
And that one's ranked relatively high usually. Dark Gathering is one that I'm going to save that for spooky season.
But Bleach is another one that's going to be in a lot of people's top
I think so
10.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, people are
And,
saying it's like had back-to-back peak episodes, but like, it's on Hulu and I don't have that, so I can't
got
It's
see
stuff.
it.
tough. It's tough. And then,
But this circles back to us talking about streaming and how it's a
gatekeeping
Hulu
everything.
exclusive.
Yeah.
So like if you want to watch Bleach, you got to go to Hulu.
Yeah. That annoys me because these things are just on Japanese television
Yeah,
for free.
and we
And
got
then we have to like pay
search
for it
dig up
piecemeal.
for it,
Like
I
yeah.
mean, I feel like that's what the rest of the world has to do for like our television, though. So, but our television shit. So,
Well, do we even have we barely even have network television anymore. I mean, I think if they want to they want to pay for Netflix because I think that's where mostly
That's where people are watching most of
Yeah,
their
I mean,
television.
does anybody is network television producing anything where people are like, "Oh man, I got to watch this."
not anymore. Like all the bid shows kind of ended, or like they're trying to shit now, like Walking Dead.
And it's kind of weird now, like how all these shows are kind of getting revived. Like
But they make 'em
Suits
shitty.
is randomly doing really well on Netflix,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Suits was a good show, but like
Suits was a
over.
good show, but it's like I didn't think that.
But the
you
hype
know,
is
the hype is
unusual,
kind
like-
of
Well, I think
crazy.
because I think it was one of those shows where people watched it and it was good, but not only but because where it was USA
Right,
Network,
right,
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
USA
not a lot of
Network.
people had that. Just
Yeah,
you have to pay for that.
Yeah, so not a lot of people have it. Now they can watch it, and everybody's like, "Suits is amazing." It's like, well, yeah, most people knew that. Like, yeah, what was this show that I used to watch? Burn Notice.
Yeah, Burn Notice, I feel like had a revival on streaming as well.
Yeah, I really liked Burn Notice,
Burn Notice was good.
and then people discovered it afterwards, and that dude got a movie career for a little bit. Yeah.
You know what I want them to do? This is nothing to do what we were just talking about. They should make like a more mature version of Pokemon.
They're making the live action
yeah.
Pokemon.
And yeah,
No, not like a live act, but like a more mature version where it's not like kid friendly games and everything.
okay,
like that.
it's kind of
More
like
realistic.
outlaw sport kind of thing.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
Well,
I can see that. That'll be fun.
because
it technically is if you think about it. It's like, oh, you're
'Cause
gonna
I
be
feel
a
like the-
Pokemon
They'll
trainer?
never do it, but
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
because the only like semi-mature Pokemon like series was XYZ, was like the second part of the season X and Y.
I actually like when you ever see the red and blue one?
I did.
That's pretty cool because they made him a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, real or gritty, but it was like, okay, this is competition. This is real shit.
They're not doing it because they kind of make it like American cartoons,
Yeah.
and it's just very
But I
dumbed
feel like
down for
it'd be, like,
kids
Yeah, they should make it dark.
because it's such a big money maker.
They did.
They're never going to.
I don't think that you could call it Pokemon. I don't think that they would brand it. It's like with Mario.
Yeah.
There are certain things that Mario's never going to do. And
Yeah.
I think the same thing with Pokemon. I don't think you'll ever see that. But if some studio or somebody writing a manga said, "Hey, I want to do that," I think they could do it. And I think it'd be pretty cool.
I think so too.
Well, yeah,
Pay me,
because
Nintendo.
can you imagine? I remember. I think it was Sex. Was it Sex, Death, and Robots?
Love, Death, Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots. They had an episode
I know
where.
what he's thinking about.
Sex, Death, and Robots.
Hey man, all the time. I'm a man. So there was an episode where these guys go to kill this one girl, because she owes them money or something.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Mhm.
And the two monsters were like fighting
Yes.
in the thing,
Yeah.
and it turns out that she had put herself into the monster. But like, yeah, I think something like that would be really cool, where it's like you have your cadre of monsters, and then you send them out to fight, and it's like, yeah,
Because like a lot of the main audience that grew up with it is like, it came out in the 90s. Like they're all like older now, 30s now. Like I know my sister's like late 20s and she grew up with Pokemon. I grew up with Pokemon, but I'm 20 now. And like
yeah,
now
because
I'm
it's like one of those shows that never went away.
I still play Pokemon to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon's a very fun game.
It's too weak though. It's too easy.
It's fun though. It's not meant
I
to
heard
be.
Yu-Gi-Oh is it Yu-Gi-Oh is harder?
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh's coming back to this.
Yu-Gi-Oh's.
Yeah, and it's having a revival.
It's
heard
not.
that's
It's
a
not
harder
meant
game.
to. It's not
I
meant to
didn't
be
like
difficult. It's
I didn't
supposed
like
to be
the card
fun.
games. I like the Pokemon game itself.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like the Explorer.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I wish
I
I
see
got
what-
into a
okay.
card game.
So you're talking about
this-
the video games.
So we pretty much did that. We didn't even get to our other.
We're gonna have to do a separate.
We'll do a separate. We'll do a separate.
To be continued,
Part two.
everyone.
Part
Would you be
no,
continued?
it would be like Attack on Titan Part 4, but Part
Part four,
3
yeah.
of Part 2 of the
This
schoolyard.
this
Yeah.
always happens.
Our summer, yeah.
Yeah,
We-
remember
we
last week we talked about
always-
Kyrie?
We always like. We're like, we're just going. It's just going to be a couple hours. We ain't got much, and it just always just tapers off, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
We've been recording since I've been here for 3 hours. So
Yeah, that's usually
Yeah.
yeah.
It usually
you guys
takes.
are here for a half hour before me.
It usually is.
I was here at
usually
11:30, yeah.
At least 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, once
for
we
us.
start recording,
because
it's
this takes
like,
a little
yeah.
while. And, yeah,